Some prices in life are heavy, but one price is strangely cheap. Rejection. Hello everyone, welcome to Inner Tales. I hope this story brings you a moment of peace and helps you learn English in a gentle, natural way. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to Inner Tales. I used to avoid asking for things, not big things, small things. A different seat on a bus, a small discount at the market, a photo from a stranger when I traveled alone. I would hold the request inside my mouth and then swallow it because I could already see the moment in my head. And the cold face, the quick no, the tiny laugh, the silence after. It was not even real, but it felt real enough to stop me. One morning, I stood in a cafe near my apartment. The air smelled like roasted beans and warm bread. The barista handed me my drink. Plastic straw, the kind that feels normal until you notice it. I wanted to say one simple sentence. Do you have a paper straw? But my throat tightened, and I didn't ask. I walked out with my cup, and I felt something strange. Not anger, not sadness, just a quiet thought. Why am I scared of such a small thing? Later that week, I traveled alone to a small seaside town. The sky was soft. The sea looked like a calm sheet of metal. Tourists stood in groups, laughing, taking pictures, living loudly. I stood alone near a stone bridge. The light was perfect, a moment that would become a memory. I held my phone, looking around. There was a couple nearby, friendly faces, slow steps. I wanted to ask, can you take one photo of me? But my mind spoke faster than my heart. What if they say no? What if they feel annoyed? What if they look at me like I am a burden? So I didn't ask. I took a selfie. My smile looked forced. My eyes looked tired. When I watched the couple walk away, I felt a small loss. Not the photo itself, something deeper. I realized I was not losing moments because life was hard. I was losing moments because I was afraid of a word. And the strange part was, no had not even happened yet. A few days later, I met an old man in a park. He sat on a wooden bench under a tree. The leaves moved slowly, like they were breathing. He was feeding small birds with calm hands, a face full of lines, but not the lines of stress, the lines of peace. I sat on the other end of the bench, holding my coffee like it was a shield. The old man looked at me and said softly, "You look like someone who carries a door in his chest." I smiled a little. "A door?" He nodded. "A door you never knock on." His words hit a place inside me that had no name. I looked down at my hands. "I don't like bothering people," I said, "and I don't like being refused." The old man didn't laugh. He didn't argue. He only asked one question. "When you are refused, what do you lose?" I opened my mouth and closed it because I didn't know. I felt like I lost dignity. I felt like I lost value. I felt like I lost something, but I couldn't point to it. The old man waited, so I answered honestly, "I don't know, but it hurts." He nodded slowly. "Of course it hurts," he said. "About hurt is not always loss." The old man picked up a small pebble from the ground. He held it in his palm like it was a lesson. "Look," he said. "If you ask for something and the answer is no, you return to what you had before." He placed the pebble back down gently. "Before you asked, you didn't have it. After the no, you still don't have it." And he looked at me. His eyes were steady. "So tell me again, what did you lose?" Something inside me went quiet. It was almost embarrassing. I realized my fear was loud, but the math was simple. If I ask for a job and they refuse, I still don't have the job. But I didn't have it yesterday either. If I ask for help and they refuse, I still stand on my own feet. Same feet as before. The loss was not outside. It was inside. A story I told myself. A drama my mind created. The old man leaned back on the bench and said, "Rejection is often the cheapest price you will ever pay." I stared at the trees. Cheap, even free. Because nothing is taken from your pocket. Nothing is stolen from your hands. Only your feelings get shaken. And feelings can be trained. The old man picked up a small pebble from the ground. He held it in his palm like it was a lesson. "Look," he said. "If you ask for something and the answer is no, you return to what you had before." He placed the pebble back down gently. "Before you asked, you didn't have it. After the no, you still don't have it." And he looked at me. His eyes were steady. "So tell me again, what did you lose?" Something inside me went quiet. It was almost embarrassing. I realized my fear was loud, but the math was simple. If I ask for a job and they refuse, I still don't have the job. But I didn't have it yesterday either. If I ask for help and they refuse, I still stand on my own feet. Same feet as before. The loss was not outside. It was inside. A story I told myself. A drama my mind created. The old man leaned back on the bench and said, "Rejection is often the cheapest price you will ever pay." I stared at the trees. Cheap, even free. Because nothing is taken from your pocket. Nothing is stolen from your hands. Only your feelings get shaken. And feelings can be trained. Before we left, the old man gave me one practice. "Start small," he said. "Your nervous system needs gentle training." That night, I went to a small shop. I bought a bottle of water. The cashier handed me a plastic bag. I took a breath and said, "Do you have a paper bag?" He blinked. Then he said, "No, sorry." That was it. No lightning, no humiliation, no laughter. The world stayed the same, and I stayed the same. But inside me, something changed. I walked home thinking, that was the thing I feared? The next day, I tried again. In another cafe. "Do you have a paper straw?" The barista nodded. "Sure." I walked out with a paper straw like it was a trophy. Not because the straw mattered, but because I had knocked. A week later, at the market, I tried one more. "How about 110? I asked, gently, not aggressively. The seller smiled and said, "Okay." I felt my confidence grow in quiet centimeters. Not loud, not dramatic. It's real. And then, one morning at work, I finally asked a bigger question. I sat with my manager in a small meeting room. The air conditioner hummed softly. My hands were calm, but my heart was awake. "I'd like to discuss my salary," I said. "I believe my work has been consistent. I want to know what growth looks like for me here." My manager listened. He didn't explode. He didn't punish me. He said yes to part of it, and no to another part. But he also gave me a clear path. And I realized something important. Even when the answer is no, you can still gain information. You can still gain direction. So rejection is not only cheap, sometimes it is useful. One afternoon, I returned to that park. Same bench, same tree. The air smelled like grass and sunlight. The old man was there again. I sat down and said, "I've been knocking." He smiled without surprise, like he already knew. I told him about the cafe, the market, the meeting room. And then I said something that felt like a confession. I used to think confidence was something you were born with. He shook his head. Confidence is often just a relationship with no, he said. If no destroys you, you avoid life. If no becomes normal, you enter life. I looked at my hands again. They looked the same, but they didn't feel the same. Because now, when I wanted something, I didn't only dream about it. I asked. And if I was refused, I didn't treat it like a verdict on my worth. I treated it like weather. It passes. Then you walk again. Knock again. And here was the unexpected gift. When I became more comfortable asking, I also became more gentle when others asked me, because I understood the courage it takes to knock. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is not a big speech. It is simply opening the door. Rejection is not always a wall. Sometimes it is just a closed door. And a closed door does not mean you are wrong. It only means this one didn't open. So knock again, because the price is cheap, sometimes almost free, and the life you want, and often lives behind a door you haven't knocked on yet. If you want more calm, cinematic stories to learn English naturally, subscribe to Inner Tales, and tell me in the comments, what is one small thing you will ask for this week, even if the answer is no?